remember I was saying about United one time on the show. I was saying, listen, United, at the end of the day, when they come, they're a big club. They don't care if they didn't win nothing last season or whatever. That Sesko thing is not a given he's going to Newcastle, because United, he don't care that they're not in the Champions League. He might be looking, thinking, I could be the guy to bring them back to the Champions League.
On Thursday last week, Fabrizio Romano was constantly going, in the next few days, in the next couple of days, won't take long. I thought it'd be over the weekend. It wasn't. I think it will come either today or tomorrow. Sesko will go, I want Newcastle or I want United. But I think because he sat there debating, Newcastle probably offering a better financial package to him. They'll be offering him bonuses, like good goal bonuses, starting every minute. They go, oh, look, we're the project, blah, 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 look at United, blah, blah, blah. And then United are going, we are Man United. They are Newcastle. Pick. Like you were saying, like when United call, like it's a cheesy phrase, but like when big clubs knock, it is a different knock to when someone like Newcastle knocks. Newcastle have to present a better package for him, maybe financially, or promise him that in a few years' time he can then move on to a different club. Although, as you said before, those promises aren't always kept. So I think it'll be a case of they'll wait for what Sesko says. If Sesko says Newcastle, they will get that signing done within 48 hours. Because they've prepared to pay whatever it costs, contracts, everything. They'll just give everything. And if it doesn't, they will then, I think, switch to Wissa quite quickly. Because they need a striker anyway. Because what will happen is, if they sign Wissa, people might go, oh, well, there you go. Now they're going to get rid of Isak because they've signed a striker. But they'll just go, well, no, Wissa's our Wilson replacement. Yeah, and they'll still sit there and go, no, we're not going to sell Isak unless you pay us the money. So I don't necessarily think the Wissa signing will have too much bearing on Isak, but the Sesko signing would.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how I see it.
On the Sesko thing, we'll go to United, who did win the Premier League Summer Series trophy.
Big trophy, first trophy for Amorim.
Guess who won it first?
Oh, it was you, wasn't it? In 2023.
Right. Damn straight.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot all about it.
Yeah, I think they did one in 2023 and then one this summer. I think they might be scrapping it because it lost 5.8 million this summer.
Why? Because they just had dead teams.
No one wants to watch that.
But yeah, it's like it was on Sky.
Everton,
like,
Bournemouth,
cool.
West Ham and Man U.
Well, it's just like an extension of the Prem. And it's
very competitive.
Okay.
Yeah, like the mid-table to bottom
huge,
table teams.
Best of the rest.
Dead.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
It's 12th and down, really, isn't it?
Oh, finish fifth this
so Bruno Fernandes was quoted after saying we needed more competition for the players that were here, more quality to get everyone to step up more, and I think that is what the club are trying to do. Hopefully we can get one or two more players to help with that. You won the summer series with 7 points. You drew with Everton, but you did beat Bournemouth and West Ham. If you're Sesko right now, because that is the hot kind of talking point between Manchester United and Newcastle United, Sesko, if you're watching United lift up the summer series, is that going to persuade you to head to Manchester?
No one gives a shit about the summer series, man. Who gives a shit, really?
No one.
Cool. I'm happy that we played well against Bournemouth, and I'm happy we played well against West Ham. The Everton game last night was, like Bruno Fernandes said after the game, he thought at points were a bit lazy, and he's right. But it's not more than that. He's not calling the team lazy and the squad lazy. I know there's been a load of fanfare about the word lazy, as there is, like, whenever someone says a trigger word like that, whole media world explodes when it's around United. I don't care that we won that trophy. United, if you go on their social pages, not a single photo of that trophy. The only one is like they did a collab on Instagram, but on Twitter, nothing about the teams holding the trophy. Because who cares? It's
embarrassing.
Yeah, but it's just like a little thing you parade it in, like the Emirates Cup. It's like, cool, but if Arsenal lose out, you're not going to have a restless night if Arsenal don't win the Emirates Cup kind of thing. Who cares? But I think with Sesko, who he picks depends on how much he backs himself. Going to United's the riskier option because you've seen Højlund not do well here. Striker situation's been a bit of a graveyard shift. Yeah, because Xerxes as well, he's played better elsewhere. The striker situation, it feels a little, well, as I said, it's like a graveyard shift, or at least it was last season.
Cemetery club.
But if he backs himself, then why not go to United? Because there's going to Newcastle. Newcastle, with all due respect, I think have a bit of a ceiling compared to where United can go just due to our resources, the size of the club, the size of the stadium. So you can go Newcastle as more of a stepping stone, or you can try back yourself to skip that step, go straight to United.
If I was him, I'd be like Champions League all day. I'm going straight to Newcastle.
That'd be one season Champions League.
How do you know?
No, as in he'd be 100% guarantee himself Champions League next season. Let me ask you this question. But then long term,
who's more likely next season to get a Champions League spot?
I think
Newcastle
it's
or Man U?
at least pretty dead even. If Newcastle haven't improved, and we have, like you mentioned, Robbie, at the beginning, Cunha and Mbeumo, two very good signings.
15th to 4th though is a massive step
but
up.
Who would you go to?
The top 4.
I'd go to Newcastle.
I don't think
day of the week.
I know probably I get clown from this and stuff, but
if you're a player, you're going to United.
This is what I'm saying.
They're just another.
I don't know. I think Almarim and his system and the way they've played in pre-season, from what I've heard, it doesn't sound very inspiring for a young player. So I'm not banking on that environment being better next season for someone like Sesko. I think he might sway that way just because, like you said, it is Man United and there is like the whole pull power factor of you have the opportunity to kind of change the course and lead the line and become the new number 9. But if you're going with the smart option is obviously Newcastle.
This is what I'm saying.
Still
Newcastle is the more logical option, but it's to do with how much you back yourself to be a
I don't think so.
striker.
I think you can back yourself and still go to Newcastle.
Well, yeah, because you're moving up to a Prem club.
You're still going to the Premier League. You're still going to a club that has lost a key player. You got to replace. It's like that's a big weight on your shoulders. They just won a trophy last season, and you're still backing yourself in the sense of it's Newcastle. Like Newcastle got a big support. They still got a big.
Newcastle.
Do you know
It's not.
Newcastle.
They're not.
Relax.
It's not being that guy at Newcastle. You still want to move to Liverpool like Isak has. If you're being that guy, if you can actually become that guy at Man United,
but it's not all down to you.
That is an entirely thing.
Being that guy at Man United is not solely down to you. It's down to what's around you. It's around.
Yeah, but he'll have more of that. So last season, Højlund had like Garnacho and then first half of the season Rashford and stuff around him. He didn't have great stuff around him because we were playing like shit. The players didn't understand what was meant to be going on in the club, and we finished 15th. I don't think we're a squad. Our squad isn't the 15th best squad in the Premier League. I don't believe that. People can, people can't. Like, I believe we have players who will perform a lot better next season and raise us up. I'm not saying we're top 4, not saying we're Champions League, but Sesko improves us hugely just because he's a good striker. So, the price tag is a whole other thing. That's another thing
my
to
thing with
talk about.
Sesko, right? And listen, this is not me switching. You can go and watch. Even when I was like, he was being linked with us, I'm just like, where do they get this fee from? What has he done to deserve this 75, 80 million for what? What's he done? I was always baffled. That's me. I always wanted us all along to get Gyökeres because I was like, Gyökeres proven. He's like Sesko's like talent.
It's a safer option. For
He's
Arsenal.
great talent. His ceiling's high. Yes, we know that, but he's not actually. He's never even had a season where he scored 20 goals.
No.
Last season, I think he scored about 14.
13 in the league.
13.
Yeah, I'm just like, how does that translate into
Then it
some
dropped
of
to
these
30.
prices are inflated? Ekitike, 80 million. Like, he's had one great season. He flopped at PSG. I'm not listening. Before anyone starts, and not to say he's not going to be a great player. He's obviously very, very talented. You can see some great things in him. He's not a French international yet. He's had one good season. 80 million. They're taking a mick out of us in some of these clubs, aren't they? Over in Europe.
When it's time to sell players back to them, they're all broke. They ain't got no money.
Betis have made like 50 million in sales this summer and go, we can't afford 30 for Anthony. I'm like, we gave 50 million.
We gave Dortmund 55 for Gittins. Now it's time for them to pay for Chukwuemeka. They were like, nah, we ain't got the money. They've only just come back in now, understanding that it's permanent only.
Gittins, 55 million. He's not even an England international. He ain't played for England.
Didn't he score one goal in 28 games or something?
Yeah. Right? How is he 55 million? I'll tell you though, they're taking a mick out of us, right? We're actually. I'm looking at some of these things and I'm like, how is that player worth that?
On Sesko's feet.
Not to say that they can be. Listen, they might come and fly, but I'm just looking at that's what I said earlier with Tyreek George. Tyreek George, Gittins, they're similar. How is it 55 million?
Where does Sesko end up then? Gun to your head, you have to decide. Newcastle, Man United. Where does he end up?
I think he ends up at United.
Yeah, I think United as well.
Unless we
But-
try and massively lowball, because Leipzig are swimming, right? They've got PIF backed Newcastle in for him, willing to pay whatever they want, and they've got Man United in desperate need of a striker who will probably end up caving because we're not in a position to stand there and be strong in negotiations. They are swimming, and I think that's why Sesko's fee is suddenly 65 million. I think
Supply and
if it
demand.
wasn't in this,
Supply and demand.
Yeah, this is what I mean. That's why I think Sesko's probably a 40 to 50 million pound player, great potential, blah blah blah, which is still 50 million quid for a 22-year-old striker. He does have like 5 seasons of professional football, but it's the situation.
The thing
2
is,
weeks
though,
until the season starts.
can you
and
afford
everything.
him? Because if Newcastle are
If you buy
desperate,
Garnacho, we can.
this is what we don't need to be doing. And you almost need Sesko to say unequivocally, I'm not going anywhere but Manchester United.
That's exactly what we did with
that
Mbeumo.
that is the club you have to negotiate with. You can forget about Newcastle.
Still
I'm
no
not
bid,
going
though.
there. But I don't know if
That's because we're waiting for his answer.
I don't know if Sesko is willing to risk saying like absolutely no to Newcastle, only Manchester United, when really Newcastle is still a very good
So
move
where
and
do you
really the
think
right
he ends
move
up?
for Sesko. If we're talking about where he is in his career, going to Newcastle is probably about right.
We're
for him.
gonna end up putting pressure on him in the next couple of days to say, right, we need an answer. Otherwise, we're just gonna move elsewhere.
I think you might go Newcastle.
Yeah, I
This is my
think so
thing.
as well.
You guys need a midfielder and a
Yeah.
goalkeeper, and you all need that really before the Premier League starts. Ideally,
I know.
are you going to get these things?
I think I hope, touch wood, if we have settled on Sesko, and Watkins seems like he's not really available anymore. So if we settled on Sesko, and we're going to say we literally need to sort this out in the next 2 days, 3 days, I hope that we go, okay, if we're not getting Sesko, move on from striker. Go get a midfielder. I've been banging on about Baleba. I think all United fans across the country and across the world have been banging on about Baleba.
He'd be
Brighton.
expensive as well.
But I don't see him costing. I see him costing as much as we would pay for Sesko, or maybe a little bit more.
Brighton, you know, they will
Yeah, I know,
they will charge you
this is
minimum
what I mean.
£80 million.
But if we're going to end up having to commit,
Right, no,
including add-ons, like 75 plus a 30% sell-on clause for Sesko anyway, I would rather, instead of us pivoting and going and overpaying for someone like Watkins or going and paying 40 million for Wissa, I would genuinely be more comfortable. Okay, reallocate those funds to a midfielder, and then because it's not like we haven't signed goals.
You should have gone for Leslie
Cunha and
Who's now just
Brumo
gone to Burnley.
goals.
Okuchukwu at Chelsea, you should have gone for him.
Well, he's just gone to Burnley, hasn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
Like
That was
I would,
really
I would
neat.
really
Keep
like
him.
it if we don't get Sesko because the club is so set on that. Like pivot and go and get a
Sesko
midfielder.
instead.
Go and get what? should we turn up with a Sesko club card to Leipzig?
So right, where do you guys think he ends up? Let us know.